Hi everyone. I know it's been a long time since you heard from me last, and I've been considering giving an update for quite some time now. Um, but it's difficult to share my experiences and my journey with really complete strangers, anyone who decides to hit play, because it requires me to be vulnerable. But maybe we could use a little more vulnerability in our interactions, and kind of allow people to see our humanity. So, with that said, I wanted to speak a little bit to some of the comments and things that I've noticed. Many people have asked, why don't you just leave? Why do you stay in this community that devalues you as an LGBT person? And firstly, to answer that, I did resign my membership in 2012. So I haven't technically been a member of the Mormon Church for over 3 years now. But to those who don't understand why it's so difficult for Mormons to leave, even if they're kind of in this abusive relationship, if they're LGBT people or whatever, you have to understand that when you're born into Mormonism, when you're raised in Mormonism, everyone you trust in your world is a part of that culture, that community, that faith. Your family, your parents, your extended family, usually, your friends, your spiritual leaders, pretty much the community that you know growing up is all a part of that structure. And, Mormons do a pretty good job of insulating themselves, or, just kind of sticking together. So to risk losing all of that that's a big deal. Secondly, you perceive the world through a lens that you were taught to perceive it in. So even if you reject, Mormon beliefs or whatever, your mind is still trained to see the world, to view the world through that lens. And all you have to do is look at, the continued racial prejudice in the South to appreciate the fact that it's not easy to simply change the lens through which you view the world. We're raised up to see it a certain way. And so, rejecting your whole worldview and throwing out that lens is difficult. It requires a lot of work. Thirdly, so resignation is the official process of removing your name from the records of the church, and effectively, means that you are no longer LDS, you're no longer a Mormon. And when you do that, the church informs you that you're stripped from all your blessings of having been a member of the church. So, blessings of baptism, you lose, priesthood power. You're even, you lose your sealing to your family. So, in other words, it's not only that you're risking losing everyone in your support network now, but you're being told that even in eternity you will be cut off. And even if you don't believe that, even if you don't take stake in that idea, that's what everybody around you believes about you. That's what your family believes about you. That's how people view you. So I hope that this helps people be a little bit more gentle and patient with people who are in like these religious communities like Mormonism, who find it difficult to leave, or who have to go work through a process to get there. It's not so easy, and we should be supportive of people as they go through that process, and not kind of shame them for not making the jump so quickly. Ultimately, I decided to resign as part of my healing process. I thought it was important for me to make that kind of symbolic gesture and to act on the intent that I had to take care of myself and kind of take back control of my life and define my life in my own terms. I was tired of seeing headlines about how the church was, opposing LGBT rights, or, how a leader would say something offensive, or, any number of things that were always, coming up. And it was tiresome to feel like I was connected in any way to this organization, that I was counted as one of the members that supported these men. And I didn't want to allow the church to have any more power over my life. The church offers these blessings on certain conditions. And for me, the conditions were to deny my own humanity. And resigning was my way of saying, no thank you. I don't want your blessings, I want my life. And that was empowering for me, and it was kind of the first step of a long journey that I'm still on in deprogramming my mind and creating a new lens through which I see the world. Resignation is really just a first step. It takes a lot more work to embark on the journey of kind of deprogramming the psychological effects of seeing the world through that lens for so long. And I hope to share some of those insights with you in future videos. In the meantime, if you have any questions about resignation or about this part of my journey, feel free to comment below, and I'll do my best to get back to you in future videos.